The topics we discuss are many.
No story too bold to talk about.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the Naked Podcast.
I don't have a one-liner this week again. Hey, GDM Tech Alan.
Are we live now?
Yeah, we're live.
Yes. This is what happens when we don't have a plan. And that wasn't my one-liner. My one-liner actually is BuzzFeed quiz certified to have a dark saber. It's your girl,
Right.
NJ.
How many times did you cheat to get that lightsaber?
Oh my god, I did not. It was my first one, okay?
What's up, Extreme?
Cross my heart.
Cross your heart with
You
a dark
know?
lightsaber?
I could go cross my heart.
I could go for a night at the beach with a bonfire, some good drinks, and some good friends.
Ooh, that sounds
Ooh,
fun.
that does sound fun.
I had 6 minutes of intro to think of a one-liner and I didn't. Hey, everybody, let's get this going.
I thought your one-liner was, are we live? And I was like, yes, we are.
It's a Monday. Forgive us, everybody.
Cross my heart, hope
I-
to die.
We got a little Grogu going, you know what I mean? Like, I'll get there eventually. Just let me think.
So
So he's
HBO
leading the
Max?
show.
It's your week, Ethan.
That
yeah.
was my week. Oh, hi, everybody.
It's your week.
I'm here. I'm almost present and conscious.
So
Hold on. I was totally ill prepared. Sorry.
I have one if you want me to
I was
lead you
playing video
in.
games right before this, and it totally crashed and just threw my whole. It threw off my groove.
I'm sorry, but you threw
Sorry.
off the Emperor's groove.
Hmm?
I have a good way to lead you in, Ethan.
I'm good. Hold on.
Okay.
Where the hell?
It's
I
okay,
just lost
take
the
your time.
list. Yeah, don't rush me. You know, we're just on live TV or whatever.
It's okay. Take your
Oh,
time.
that's why I'm in the wrong server. That's why. All right, here we go. Too many servers on Discord, guys.
Oh my gosh. We are professional streamers.
Okay, let's get this going. Did everyone have enough laughing and enjoyment at us at the moment?
Yes.
CJ Run wants to know what you're vaping.
Yeah.
The juice, it's a watermelon lemon. I don't have the thing on me. I can go get it real quick. But it's like a watermelon lemon menthol. I always have to vape a menthol.
On another note, our first little topic of discussion is: have y'all heard that HBO, well, we should say Warner Media and AT&T will be launching all of their movies simultaneously? So you'll have 1 month of the newest movie on HBO Max as it's playing in theaters, and then after 1 month, it will come off HBO Max and stay in theaters.
Ooh. I like that idea.
And it's going to be at no extra cost to subscribers, unlike Disney and all the other, like Universal, how they were doing it.
Fucking great. That was like the worst business practice.
I'm pretty excited about this because, I mean, to have brand new movies on these streaming services is great. I mean, Netflix is already doing it. I mean, of course, Netflix isn't like a big box office type of company, but they debut their own movies with just as big actor names. So it was
Mhm.
only a matter of time.
I really loved the shade they threw at Disney. NJ, I think you clipped it. It was like no extra cost for subscribers.
Well, I think you sent me the one that was like Disney was already hitting back with like only in theaters or whatever.
What does that do for you, Disney? Like, let me just reiterate how shitty and that we want to stick so hard to this old school way of thinking.
Like,
Mhm.
as soon as Netflix went digital, right? You got Netflix in the mail, and then they went fully digital. There was a
Mhm.
huge shift, right?
Yep.
You already saw the decline of movie theaters at that point. And this is just like, hey, the dog has rabies. You got to go put her down.
The dog
And,
has rabies.
and
Poor old
AT&T
Yeller.
is just cutthroat enough to where they'll pull the trigger. And Disney was like, well, we'll just throw some money at the vet. They'll keep it alive.
So I've realized that ever since Netflix went online and started providing streams, movie theaters have had to make it more enticing to get people to go down to the movie theaters. Like, fuck, Santico's here in San Antonio is massive with bowling alleys, fucking some of
Laser
them,
tag.
yeah, laser tag. Some of them have go-karts. Like, who the fuck has that much time to go watch a movie, eat, bowl, drive go-karts, and do laser tag?
I really love that Extreme put in the chat like I'm waiting for Gamefly to come back
Fuck
because that was
yeah.
the game version of Netflix.
I love
Um
Gamefly.
which is basically what is it? The Xbox Game Pass. Like that's pretty much Gamefly, like digitalized.
Yeah, you're
You
Pretty
right.
much, yeah.
you can download as many as you want. But it's kind of like movie theaters also try to do that movie pass. You
Mhm.
remember that? Like you pay
Like
$10 a
Regal
month
did
and
it for a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, wait, it
Oh
wasn't very
yeah.
successful because you're not really yes, you're going to the movies for the movies, but you're also going for the experience and the concessions and that theatrical experience and surround sound. But I don't know, like Alan's a tech guy. So like we have a surround sound system and it's fucking awesome. Like I have no need to go to the movie theater.
Yeah. You see these? We could throw them away. I had these on my desk just for this one purpose. But
He was waiting for the right moment.
yeah, just to say fuck movie tickets. And one fell on my head. Can we just bring back Blockbuster stickers? You're right. You're so right.
Actually, I heard something that Blockbuster, so the last store was having trouble in Alaska because of the lockdown.
Hmm?
So then people started donating, and I think they came up with enough donations that they can open a second location or something in another part.
That'd be
Oh,
pretty
that's
cool.
Just let it
exciting.
die. This is about the dog with rabies that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but on the other end, where it is, I mean, so
Alaska.
in the wilderness of Alaska, you don't always have internet, so you can't
Connection. Makes
stream.
sense.
So when they get locked down for 3 months at a time, they can't leave their house on a yearly basis. They
That's
they
true.
rent a movie for like 6 months. And then they share them.
And then they
So what about
copy
chat?
them.
What about chat? What about you guys? What do you think? Do you think that this move is a smart move, like beating Disney? Do
Yeah,
you think
so
that
they did put a time limit. They said it's only going to be for this year, but as we all know, we're only going to lock down for 15 days to stop the spread, and we're in December. So them saying, "Hey, we're only going to do it for 1 year," is like COVID years, like 30 years. So
Well, and that's
COVID
like
time.
Facebook creating the Carry Act, saying it was only going to be up for the month of June, and here we are in December, and I still have my Carry Act.
everyone lied to us. That's my biggest thing. Stop lying to us, everybody. If you're gonna just kill off movie theaters, just tell us. We'll support you.
Yeah, just
I
put
hate
it
sticky
down.
floors.
Yeah, sticky
no
floors are the
pants.
worst.
But moving forward, I think like the big megaplexes that have the bowling and the laser tag and the other options in them where you can
Mhm.
make a night of it. Like if you're taking a date, you could go do something fun and interactive and then watch a movie and then go back to her place or your place and Netflix and chill.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it's either you're going to have those mega places or you're going to have drive-ins. And like we have one drive-in, but it's like a 20-minute drive for us to go to it.
Bring back the drive-in.
The one not industry. The one company I'd be okay with them trying to save is the not Alamo. Fucking. Oh yeah, save the
Alamo
Alamo.
died out.
Oh
Yeah, remember
No,
the Alamo. too.
remember the Alamo. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Save the Alamo. Dumbass.
Save the Alamo from what historical restorations.
Yes.
oh, don't even get me started on that. I deal with that. Don't even get me started with those people. But no, like, so the Alamo Draft House,
The Alamo
when
Draft House,
they
thank
opened
you.
up, they
Mhm.
were the spot, right? They had beers
Yeah.
on tap, they had local, and then they sold out. They went corporate
Mm-hmm.
and they became a chain, and it just went downhill real quick after that. And
Yeah,
now
and now
it's
you
like every
see
other movie theater that
Yeah,
it just brings you food to your table instead.
exactly. I feel like Draft House really had a unique idea, but then, other people tried to start their thing. I went to a movie theater in Houston that's set up just like the Draft House, where it had like the table, you had your chair, you order, you put up your little thing and signal people. And I'm pretty sure, whoever's in chat, like you probably know of a place kind of similar to that. I miss going to shadow castings at the Draft House.
The Rook Porter
Yes,
adult
Rocky
milkshake.
So
personally, I like the
Snickerbest,
Guinness
since
one.
you moved away and they went corporate, they got a liquor license and they no longer make that.
Yep.
Oh no.
They make a equivalent with liquor in it now, and it's not as good as their beer milkshake.
Just I don't know.
Wait.
It's like in this day and age, I don't want to go anywhere. So
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'd be
moving
happy
forward,
chilling
bring
at
back the
home.
smaller establishments. You have places like Top Golf. You go to hit a ball in a range net. It's overpriced for the hour. The drinks are overpriced. The food's overpriced. Where you can go down to Blanco and there's a smaller shooting range where half the time you've got deer at the edge of the clearing. The beer's $2 to $3 depending on what well's on special that night. Like, bring back those kind of places. I don't want the loud and the noise. Give me the quiet and the I don't know. I guess the
Relaxing.
intimacy. I miss the intimacy of some places. Hell, bring
that's a
back
good point.
speakeasies with the round tables, and you got the singer singing up on stage, and she's
I know
giving
it's hot.
some jazzy blue. What? Yeah.
I know it's not.
And
But
Holy, I'm gonna drag y'all there to pop your cherries.
That doesn't sound very. I don't consent. No consent.
I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
But no, really, moving forward, I think the movie theater aspect is only going to play to people's benefit if there's an experience to go with it. Like, no one's going to pay to go sit in a sticky theater and have smelly people around you just to watch a movie now. Like,
Yeah,
you're
I
going to
can
have
do
to
that shit at
space people
home.
out. You're going to have to serve food. You're going to have to, serve alcohol or I don't know, have a package where you can go play around a mini golf and watch a movie or some bullshit. I don't know. Hey, the JW is here.
What's up, JW?
JW number one
I'm
Just so
imposter.
you know,
sorry.
every time I see his name, I say JW Marriott.
It's a
Really?
local
Just because
hotel
you're
then.
so fancy. He's so
like-
fancy.
National hotel, international hotel.
Yeah, it's our PGA golf course. Let's just say that.
Big IMP.
Yeah, he has that brick energy.
That brick energy.
All right, Extreme.
All right, Extreme. Have a good stream. Bet.
Well,
Yeah, but
I'm gonna have
Alright.
to
I
resubscribe
mean,
on.
do y'all see anything that can save the movie industry besides like the movie theater industry?
No, not at all.
Or do you think it's going to be another casualty of COVID?
I don't think it'll be a casualty of COVID, unless if we're talking about realistic, well, unless we're talking the way it affected it after COVID. It could be a post-COVID, death, but I don't think it'll be I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon.
No,
That's what I'm trying to say.
I definitely think that it's one of those they died with COVID, but we're going to count it as a COVID death.
Mm,
We're like hospitals.
I'm okay with that. Like hospitals.
All right, moving on from that.
Also, just so you know, I even fixed the little topic thing in the middle of the episode. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. So speaking on movies, and that
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can say was the Disney test feature for that moving forward. What are y'all's opinion on Mulan?
It could have been better.
It could have been better.
I
The
was so
real-
disappointed. And this is
I
the
can
person
honestly,
who has loved every remake so far, for the most part.
yeah, like we've had disagreements on every single one, and like I got up and I went and cleaned my bathroom, and I like literally deep scrubbed the bathroom rather than sit there and watch the rest of that movie.
God
So
damn.
that was my opinion on it. Like
Do you guys
45
feel
minutes
like-
in, I checked out. I was done.
Do you feel like they kind of like fast forwarded through like a lot of like really important parts,
Mhm.
and there was no character development, and then this random fucking witch? Like, what the hell is that?
It was bland as fuck.
So
It was
first of
bland.
all, the entire movie is so big picture. It just felt like a giant ad. And it's like I never
Mhm.
got to know these characters. I was hesitant about like the chi and the magic. I get it. That would have been really cool to incorporate, but they just did it so heavily, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, when I hear the controversies about where it was filmed, it made me like not want to see the movie in the first place.
Same.
But then, it was on sale on Blu-ray. I buy the Blu-ray that has the digital copy and all that because that's what Caitlin likes. So I bought it for her, because she really wanted to see it. It was cheaper to buy the Blu-ray than it was to rent it on Disney Plus. Let's just say that for first off.
Oh, we watched it for
And-
free on Disney Plus.
Yeah, well, y'all waited till it came out, but
Yeah.
at that point, it's just like, I think I cut out right after the whole like bride, and then she went to the army. I was just like, check out.
That was the first 5 minutes of the movie.
The
Honestly-
only thing I can really say that I enjoyed about it was the sister relationship and the bonds.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
they removed Cricket and made it to where her sister's fear messed up her tea scene. And for me, that was like, okay, she loves her sister. She'll do anything to protect her, even fuck up her own chances, for her family.
Well, they
And
didn't
I'm like,
completely.
that tells me a little bit about her.
Well, and they didn't completely remove Cricket. They just made him a human being.
Mhm.
Which is
Whenever you
stupid
got-
because cricket was a symbol, right? It was all about symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
The grandmother, crickets are good luck. Even though things are going wrong and bad's happening, doesn't mean that good can't happen or that there's not like, a pathway forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the cricket was like a symbol in the original Mulan, and the way they treated cricket in the new movie is just like another bad taste.
Who
Yeah.
was Cricket?
He was the guy pinned underneath. What was it again?
the wagon, they helped him like lift it off, and he goes, you're pretty lucky, Cricket.
Yeah.
Oh.
There is a couple of nods to like the original movie, but you guys, we've talked about it before. I do not like the live actions of my Disney classics. Like the only one that I was like okay with was Aladdin, and that was only for the Prince Ali scene. This one, it was a huge disappointment, and honestly, like I can just sum it up in the words of Mushu: shame on you, shame on your cow, shame on your family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much all I gotta say on Mulan. I mean, it wasn't anything special. And for Disney's first attempt to profit off of that, as like a video on demand, it wasn't worth it.
I think their big thing is
Bullshit.
doing the $30 on top of the monthly fee was
Mhm.
just insane. Like, yeah, it's cheaper than going to the movie. Like 2 people at the movie is easy $50 out the door.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're going out for half of it. You're paying for an experience or, the vibe in the area. So,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think an at-home movie should be more than $15 to $20.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can agree with
I
that.
mean, you have zero compared to like the movie theater where you were paying $15 for a ticket, right? You have zero overhead. So they're not losing any money. They're making a shit ton more money this way.
Yeah. And you don't even own it for that money. Because what
Yeah.
happens if you decide to cancel your subscription? Do you get to download the movie you paid an extra $30 for?
Yeah,
No.
fuck that.
And so like Disney movies, if you buy a Disney Blu-ray, most of the time they come with a digital copy that you can
Mhm.
claim on Vudu. Why didn't Disney Plus offer that with Mulan?
That
Like,
would have been a
hey,
great
to.
idea.
That's
Like
probably
that
It would
would
have
have
Well,
been
yeah,
given
worth
me a
the
lot more
$30 price tag.
incentive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be worth the price tag at that point. It's kind of like we were talking about with Keelan buying those D&D books, right? Like she bought the digital copies and she kind of really missed the hard copies. Why don't the hard copies come with a digital copy
Mm-hmm.
or be a couple dollars more? Like I would be more inclined to buy that because that's a better deal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't even get to use those like on a different site. I would have to go to that website in order to utilize those books and then bring it out and transfer it. So it's like,
Yeah, like if I could buy the book for $20 or buy the book and digital copy for 30, I would buy the book and digital and have both.
Two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
yeah. Or like I don't even know,
Same,
have them
but different.
talk to each other because I got them on Roll20, but Roll20 setup is so much different than D&D Beyond, like the free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, if I buy an online copy, can I use it on Roll20 and on D&D? Sorry, off
Well, that's
topic.
also some of that is D&D really, Dungeons and Dragons really closing their fists and trying to
Yeah.
not
Wizards of the
work with
Coast.
people.
It's
Yeah.
owned. Fuck, I forgot who owns Wizards of the Coast. Oh
Wizards of the Coast.
no, someone
That's
else
what I
owns
thought.
them. They're owned by the same people
Chat,
who
you
make
can let
Magic
us
the
know.
Gathering.
I finally got to redeem Hydrate. Every time I've tried to redeem Hydrate, it's like, nope, this has been used.
Hasbro. There we go. They're owned by Hasbro.
Everybody's owned by some major corporation nowadays, and it's getting crazy.
Yeah, like at this point, just you don't have enough toes. I digress. Mulan was bland as fuck.
I mean,
It's
is
just
there anything y'all could that would have made it a little bit better? Like, say, like me, if they would have stuck more to kind of the story I liked, like
Mhm.
where was Shane? Like the character they put in Shane's place was like blah. He's a
Well,
sissy.
here's my thing about it. If you're going to do Mulan and you've already done Mulan, you've done your cartoon version of it. Now, for live action, give me more of the ballad. Give me more of the actual legend of Fa Mulan, as close to, the original sources as we can get.
Mhm.
Because it's just,
I
it
assume I thought that's what they were trying to do with this one, or that was what it was supposed to be. Like this one was supposed to be more accurate to the legends that it is, and appeal more to the people of China, like as a movie.
maybe. I
Yeah.
started watching right before it came out. There was a Chinese filmmaker who also made Matchless Mulan. It was like in Chinese, actors, directors, the whole nine yards. And honestly, there were a lot of similarities between but it was really interesting to see the different directorial views because they have their own culture of filmmaking, and so it's a lot different than what we're used to.
Mhm.
So I think I would have liked a more blend of that, and I think that's what Disney was aiming for, and they almost hit it on the mark, but they fucked it up.
like the way that she was running along the rooftops, like something that I really enjoyed in Chinese movies, like in film, is kind of like how they run across rooftops or run in the trees. Like that's like my favorite part ever. And they kind of had that element. So I definitely see what you're talking about. Like I see your point for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sweet. We can start moving towards the next one, but just want to give everybody, we do have a spoiler coming up. We'll be talking about the Mandalorian, the newest episode, and the development of it. So if you have not watched it, you might want to mute your tab for the next 15 minutes at least.
I was gonna ask if you want to take a break.
Yeah, no, we can roll. I guess we can roll a break while everyone gets set up.
Ooh, and Puzzle Scarlet with that ad time. All right. Well, get set up. Please enjoy
Make it time.
this for our subscribers, seeing how you don't get ads. Please enjoy this little image break
So I was gonna say
for the Patreon.
all the non-subs enjoy your ad, and all the subs enjoy us talking about the non-subs.
Yeah. All right, dope. There's that ad.
Oh my god.
I'll play
I
some
forgot how
music.
to spell territory.
It's okay. I forget how to spell like 90% of words.
I'm sorry.
We won't be doing anything, and I'll just hear, "Hey, how do you spell? I don't know, something."
Solar system.
I had to, like, sit there
SOLRA. Okay,
and think
how do
about
you
it.
spell it without
Sound it out in
yelling
my
it super
head.
fast?
Sound it out in my head. Make sure that's right. And I'm like, wait.
I know you're kidding, but you do know you misspelled solar, right?
SOLAR is solar.
Oh, I heard SOLRA. My bad.
Why?
Well,
Just
probably.
leave him alone.
All right, I'm sorry.
Leave me alone.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm sorry,
Way to
Brittany.
shame somebody with learning disabilities. Did y'all hear that?
Hey, I'm ADHD. What are you talking about? Learning disabilities.
Can we please go on Twitter and cancel Alan for making fun of learning disabilities?
Oh my goodness. Are we back from break yet?
No,
Not yet.
you got like 10 seconds.
I literally said, I forget how to spell like 90% of the words. And then Alan says, hey, you misspelled something. It's just kind of ironic. It was funny.
I figured you were going along with the joke.
No, that was just dyslexia happening in real time.
Well, shit. You know what is also happening in real time as we're talking right now? The Star Wars.
The war of the
Just a side
stars.
note. I saw a meme the other day that it said people with ADD, and then they were doing math, and then this said normal people, and they did like regular math, and I'm like, yeah, I have ADD, like no question about it, because that's exactly, you know. So you're like, oh, 21 minus 10, or well, not that easy, but you know,
I'm thirsty.
whatever.
What?
Instead of saying, you know, oh, you take 1 away, so that's 20, then you take the 10 away, blah blah blah. Now you got 10.
You have to do it in chunks instead of just doing it at once. Yeah.
I still use my
example,
fingers
but
sometimes.
you understood. Have you ever had to take your shoes off to count?
No.
No.
Not that
I remember
recall.
one math teacher I had, right? An AP math, and they did the like multiplication with your fingers. So like if you're timesing a certain number like by 3, 1, 2, 3. I forgot how to do it, but you know, that was like 20 years ago.
I stretched.
But anyway, back to the Mandalorian.
Whew.
I know we didn't talk about it last week. We can start with last week. Just a little recap if anyone wants to talk about their favorite happenings last week on it.
We got a name. That was
The child has a name.
So what did y'all think on the name?
I like it.
I was upset it didn't start with a Y.
I was okay with it.
Like Yoda.
I didn't have a problem with it. What up, Iron?
What's
Okay,
up,
so
Iron?
I know we talked about it a little bit before on what y'all think he actually is, if he was natural or a clone.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's Yoda's child now. Like they're gonna make it where it was Yoda's kid.
Nah, I don't think so.
Why don't you think so? Because I can give you a whole like 10-minute explanation on why
With the
it is.
PowerPoint and everything.
Yeah. With a timeline, character references.
I understand, and I've seen your character references. I've seen your timeline. I've seen your PowerPoint presentation in triplicate, as far as I know.
Don't forget his thesis.
Oh, and
So-
his 20-page thesis. Hold on. I don't think that it's his child.
I was just gonna do a
because-
small recap.
Okay, do the small
Just
recap.
before you get going, just catch everyone up.
Yeah.
Oh, Ahsoka was introduced into the episode. She taught us who Grogu.
Grogu.
That was the child's real name, and that
Yogu.
he had been on the Jedi Academy on Coruscant when Anakin was also at the Academy. All right, what were you saying, Alan?
Hold on, I'm using our new emotes. All right. You have my attention.
He was Googling. He was searching.
I wasn't searching.
No, you have our attention. You were the one talking, and we're giving you our attention.
I don't believe that Grogu is his child, because the one thing that Yoda always preached was disattachment from everything around you in order to be one with the Force. And I mean, just to call it, I mean, if the writers just say, "Oh yeah, it's Yoda's child," that's a cop out. That's just something that they decided to do because it was the easiest fucking explanation. The harder explanation is describing why it's not Yoda's child. And I want to see them explore that more. I want them to open up what Yoda is, what his species is, where he comes from, instead of just the classic cop out of, "Oh yeah, it's Yoda's child," between Yoda and Yaddle. Like, I want more. I want more backstory. And so far, like we said it before, we've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 times over. The Mandalorian is the most Star Warsiest Star Wars thing that has come out since Rogue One.
Yeah.
I mean, even Solo was very on point and on brand with what Star Wars is supposed to be, what the original series was about, that was released 79 through 81. Like, that's what we want more of. We don't want a continuation of this other person's backstory like the prequels, and we don't want them to try to continue the same story we've already heard before with the sequels. Like, we want new information to be able to like bring into lore. That's what we want. I want more lore. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I don't want them to take the easy cop out version.
What do you ladies think?
I think it would be
High ground.
high ground. I personally think it would make a lot more sense if Grogu is actually a clone. Like the essence of Yoda. Because I mean, I know that we're not there yet, but a major character was introduced this last episode that came, that has a history in clones. I'll just leave it at that until we get there.
So, yeah. Okay. So, to wrap up last week's, why I think he is Baby Yoda in the flesh, right? So, Ahsoka revealed that Grogu is the exact same age as Anakin Skywalker. Okay? So, that puts him at the Jedi Temple before Anakin, right? So what we know about Anakin's time as a Padawan is Disney canon is a little cloudy, but Legends does go a little deeper. So at the time Anakin became a Padawan to Obi-Wan, Yaddle and Yoda were both sitting on the Jedi Council at that time. The Jedi Council had in history allowed certain Jedi to breed and continue their lineage if their race was in chances of going extinct. There was a few Jedi Masters on the council who had, like, oh shit, what was his name? Plo Koon?
Plo Koon,
No,
yeah.
it wasn't Plo Koon. No, Plo Koon had the long dreads. So
I
the
thought
guy with the white hair and the big forehead, he dies in Order 66 on screen. But anyway, he actually, at the time of his death, had 4 wives and multiple children, but he was still dedicated to the Jedi Order. Like, he trained himself to not be attached to them in a way that would lead him to the dark side.
are you talking about Kia
So,
di Mundi?
yeah, Gidi
Gotcha.
Mundi. And so
I had to look
when
that
you
one
know
up.
that information and you think about it, oh, there's a possibility that Yoda and Yaddle did breed on however their species would do it to continue their species in a way. So there's always that possibility. And I think it just, when you start thinking about that, your mind can go down a rabbit hole. So,
Yeah, true.
Tinfoil hat time.
I had completely
yeah, but no,
forgotten about that.
and then to bring it into the newer episode where you had the return of the Great One and one of the assassins from last season, that they not only help out Mando, but they join the crew momentarily,
Mm-hmm.
seeing as the Razor Crest is no more.
God damn it.
That hurt my heart so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on his ride. It's kind of like Dean's and Paula and
Oh.
Supernatural. Like, it's his baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. But he needed a new one. Like, I've been waiting for somebody to be like, you know what? Here's this really shiny, pretty.
You know what the messed up part though is that literally last episode they rebuilt it completely. Like from the beginning of last episode to now, he got a brand
Yep.
new ship and then bam. But it's
Gone.
funny. Yeah, it's funny that that actually happened because in Legends, Boba Fett was actually notorious for destroying ships and like not taking care of his ships. So he's already had he always kept Slave One in like a warehouse stored away when he could, if it was not stolen or, out of his possession.
Mm-hmm.
But he had like Slave One, Slave Two, Slave Three, and Slave Four. So like he went through multiple ships, like he went through bounties. It was like a ship was nothing to him, right? The only one he ever cared about was Slave One.
That's
And that's
because
why
that was
he
his
did.
dad's ship.
Yeah, it was all that was left of his dad.
Do you like him so much? Or I guess, do you love the scene in The Other Guys of The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson like fucking up their car because it reminds you of Boba Fett?
Not because it reminds me of Boba Fett, but I love the attitude because it's a Boba Fett attitude.
Same, but
But
different. Got you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But no, like even if when you saw him come out and he had his grandpa bod, I call it,
Hmm.
his little past the dad bod,
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, I don't know, he felt more real. Like even when the Mandalorian walks out, because when the Mandalorian started, like it was what was left over from the Boba Fett movie. So like the first season, the first couple storylines, or not storylines, but like scenes and the ships and the parts were all designed in mind for the Boba Fett movie, and they repurposed them for this series. So that's why the first couple episodes before he gets his Beskar armor, he does look so much like Boba Fett. And I don't know, to see the real man in action, just he made Mando look like a little punk. Like honestly.
Yeah, he did.
How much did you love seeing the stormtroopers just fucking book it? Like, retreat, bye, peace.
Nah, fuck
like,
this. It
outta
was
here.
awesome. Or
I'm not
Was
getting
that the-
splurted today.
or spoiler
Was that
alert. Go ahead.
Was that the original actor for Boba Fett?
Mhm.
Not Boba Fett, no.
Oh,
He
no.
was the original actor for Jango Fett, Boba's dad. The original actor for Boba Fett, I think he passed not too long ago. He would be in his 70s,
Yeah. My favorite part of that whole like scene is when he's aiming for one ship and he hits the other and still gets the one he aimed for initially anyway. And it actively admits to it, like, yeah, I was aiming for the other one.
But But a lot of that goes back to like what the armorist was talking to Mando about his jetpack. Like you got to
Mhm.
Boba hadn't been in his armor, so it hadn't really sunk to him. You know what I mean? Synced to him. Like they have like a neural net that their armor syncs to.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So he was still like working on, I guess, communicating with his jetpack and getting it back in sync.
So I have a
So
question for you guys. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but what, like the stone that he placed the child on, what was that stone? Like, what was the significance?
they haven't fully dived into the
Yeah.
exact like lore of that, but that goes back to some of what you see in with like Ray and the Dark Tent. Like, well, it goes back to when Luke met Yoda. He goes into the dark forest, right? And that's
Mhm.
like powerful with the dark side of the force. Like
Mhm.
the force uses channels, and so like that rock literally can just be a channel for the light side of the force, and more or less like an altar, and that you're able to tap in easier in those areas.
Kind of how the same way that the Jedi built the temples for the Fallen Order, like it was believed that they used the Force and then power these machines with the Force as well. It's something you see a lot of in the Fallen Order video game.
My
Was
favorite
this the
part.
same?
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was gonna ask, was this the same area where Luke was hiding out at
Mm-mm.
in the new
No, that was Octu.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a
No,
completely new
he
planet.
was hiding out at the original Jedi cat or temple. That's where
Mhm.
Luke was.
Uh,
This is
okay.
more just
Never mind.
like a remnant in the area.
I'm glad you asked that question because I hadn't even considered it. So my favorite part of that is whenever Yoda's on that pedestal, or Grogu rather, is on this pedestal
Mhm.
and he's in a trance, right? And then there's like a force field around him. I love that Mondo not tries once, but he tries thrice to get to him. And at the end of it, he's like, "Okay, you stay there. I'll protect you." And I'm just like,
And then he left.
yeah.
Like,
I was
why didn't
like,
he stay there with him?
that was such a dad move, though. That's like something a dad would do, like 100%.
Well, one little breakdown I was watching, they did talk about how if you look and he goes in, that his Beskar armor actually does deflect and warp that area that he's trying to get into.
I noticed that
Oh,
too. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well,
I
Beskar
didn't
is the
notice
only
that.
type of metal known in the Star Wars realm that is able to deflect a lightsaber attack along with certain other things. That's why the Empire was mining for them.
Well, then the spear too survived the ship explosion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what real significance the spear is going to play. Like, of course, clearly it's his weapon against the dark saber, right? But
Mhm,
my big question is, what are they going to do with the dark saber after this is all done?
mhm.
Because technically, it belongs to Bo Katan. Like legally, she is the Mandalore,
Mm-hmm.
so she's the leader of the Mandalorian race, so she should have it. But at the same time, like I only want to see that in the hands of Grogu. You know?
Well, and it's like you were saying, and along with the meme that we saw of an older Grogu teaching his Padawan, um, merging the ways of both the Mandalore and the Jedi can become a whole new race.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
and real quick, can we just talk about how they kept referring to Ahsoka as the Jedi and she just accepted it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was
She's
up with
not a
that?
Jedi.
Like, if tell me I'm wrong, but wasn't one of her famous lines, "I'm no Jedi"?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. She was kicked out of
Like,
the Jedi Council. Out of the
no,
Jedi.
she
Sorry.
left on her own accord.
No. She was
AJ,
kicked
that was
out.
the only thing he said throughout
No,
the
she was
entire.
framed for murder, and then Anakin helped prove her innocence. But then she was so
Oh.
upset over the incident, she said she couldn't trust them anymore, and she left on her own accord.
I didn't
Oh.
hear
Okay.
anyone said Keelan.
Oh, throughout the entire new episode, that's all Ethan was saying. Every time somebody said, "You're a Jedi," he was like, "I'm no Jedi." And so I kept like waiting to hear it from her too. Every time.
Kind of like Lola Bunny, like, don't call me doll. Like,
Yeah.
Doll. Yeah.
That was my only like real complaint about her. Was first, well, I guess the
I
two
love
was that they made the big deal about her flipping her lightsaber, which that should have just been her fighting style in the first place. Like
Hmm.
that's always been her fighting style. Her So what they were saying, hold on, who was it? The chick that she was fighting
Hmm.
is the actual actress who voiced and did the fighting techniques for Ahsoka in the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Ooh, I
That's
didn't know
cool. I
that.
didn't
That's
know
So
badass.
the other actress that she was fighting in the scene, the one with the spear, yeah, she was the actual one who choreographed and developed the styling file of Ahsoka.
That's pretty cool.
So
I love
she
her
based,
dual-handed weapons though, like her
yeah,
shorter lightsaber and then the longer one. I love that. It's such a cool look. Number one.
and
Hmm.
she based all her fighting style off stick fighting. So
That makes
Taiwanese stick
sense.
fighting. So it's really cool, like to actually see her. I was a little upset with her agility. She was a little sluggish, and I don't know.
I mean,
I thought
she's
she was
old.
Like, have you?
badass.
Well, no, but like, if you go to Rebels, which is supposed to take place, like the years leading up to this, she's like, not, she's like Yoda in Episode 2. Like at the end of Episode 2, when Yoda
Mm.
comes out and that lightsaber comes out, and you just see a spinning frog all across screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how Ahsoka was leading into this, and then you show her on screen, and she's just like, uh, 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 you know, it's like if you try to compare uh Anakin and Obi-Wan's, fight scene to Rey and Kylo's, it's like you have two artists dancing a waltz, and then you have two children fighting in a sandbox,
I see that
That's
comparison. I
great.
I was totally fine with her fighting agility being a little lower. I mean, one thing I considered is, it's been a couple of years. Maybe she's not all up to practice with her technique. So I took that as an okay excuse. Like, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, when was the last time she was in a legit fight with someone who was much more skilled than her?
Darth
Like,
Vader.
yeah. And when was that?
Yeah, I don't know the exact timeline, because was my big question about this. How did Ahsoka get where she was? Because the last time I saw her, Ezra, I can't say his name, but in Rebels,
Hmm.
he uses the Veil of Time to kind of pull her through an alternate reality and then save her life while
Hmm.
she was fighting Vader. So that
Okay.
was the last time you had any information on her. So like, where's she been? How'd she get there?
Okay, that's fair.
Also, she should have just died with Vader, but he didn't die, so it didn't work out that way. We shall go out like we came in together.
Well, what about going out on easy mode? Right?
No, no easy mode.
No easy
Is it already
mode?
time? We have like 7 minutes before we head it. So what about easy mode, Alan?
Oh, this is NJ's topic.
Well, we can actually, I mean, we can actually just wrap it up here, on Star Wars. But I did want to pose that question to you guys. Like, playing Hyrule Warriors, there's easy mode, normal, hard, and very hard mode. And apparently, like, this is like a really big topic in the gaming industry about easy mode on games. So, like, some games like Doom or Hades, Left 4 Dead, they they may not have, or they may not have the ability to do like an easy mode, because like the whole purpose is to be a little bit challenging. But I guess like being inclusive, they're saying that people with disabilities or accessibility issues won't be able to play these games if they're set to the ways that they are. So should we put it on game developers to develop those easy modes? Number one. And number two, when it comes to esports, what does that look like? So I thought it was an interesting conversation to have, but we can leave that as a cliffhanger for next week if you like.
No, I actually have an opinion on this. Anybody else?
Yeah,
What do y'all think?
I mean, I've been playing Master Mode of Breath of the Wild recently, and I've played Ocarina of Time Master Mode. I know I can't stop talking about it. And I like playing games on hard mode only because it's more challenging and it's not boring like the lost levels from Mario. You know? Like I like playing easy games every once in a while, but the hard mode games are where I feel like I'm most challenged. Like I have to come up with a strategy instead of just hit and keep moving.
And it's like I'm glad for game developers doing the inclusivity, because there are players who definitely like to challenge themselves, and there are players who just kind of want to kick back and play.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as esports, I think they should have tiers and branches. Prove yourself to play on those higher levels, and even have maybe just separate divisions, like, oh, these are the easy mode players. We'll see who they beat themselves, and then the normal, and then the hard and master mode. Or just because it's sports, it's a competition, see who's the best. Just keep it above the hard mode, or the master mode.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it becoming such a controversy? Or
Well,
go ahead, Ethan.
on most games that they come, like I know they already come with the easy, medium, and a hard, right? Like
Mhm.
I can't name a game that's come out in the last 15 years that I've played that had only one mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like even like is it Zelda? What it is, it has a master mode, right? So I think everyone's been included there. But when we're talking professional like gaming, where do we draw the line, right? Like what makes professional gaming professional? You're the top tier, you're the best of the best. Like, yeah, if we need to set up something for people with disabilities so that they can experience that also, like we can, but as competition wise, like it should only be expert mode because at that point you're supposed to be an expert gamer. That's why I'm paying to see you play a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
I can agree
completely
with
agree
that.
with
Mhm.
I agree with that completely. Keelan, to answer your question, it's for one competitive, right? In any sport that you play, even in the gaming industry, these are highly profitable. Number one, and number two, like you have to grind a lot. Like you don't become great at a game playing it one time. Like you have to pour hours into that game, especially like a first shooter. Um, or things like FIFA or things like that. You have to come up with a strategy. You have to really learn how to play the game. So I think when it comes to competitive sports like that, it does have to be a threshold of expert level. But, in
Yeah.
terms of accessibility, like go for it. I mean, most game developers already plan for a couple different modes like Ethan mentioned. And honestly,
Well,
like maybe an easy mode of a first shooter game, maybe I would play it because I'm not the greatest at a first shooter. Like, like I have terrible aim. But maybe if
Yeah,
there's an
I'm
easy mode, that would help me.
so
well,
like on Apex Legends, right? You have regular and then you have ranked. And ranked is the hard mode, regular is easy. Like that's
It's like
how those
everyone.
those games yeah, that's how like those games are set up. Now, I could see like but at the same time, why do we need to continuously lower the standard? Right? Like, why can't we encourage people to meet that standard? Like, be better. Why is it such a bad thing nowadays to tell
And
somebody to be better?
and that's the source of the debate. So, it's like, should these people, if they truly have maybe a handicap or disability, they have the tools that they need, sure, great. But the other part of it is, there has to be some type of industry standard. So, that that was
Exactly.
The
that was it.
And that's kind of like what goes back to JW said, the pre-qualifiers. You have to meet a certain level. You have to match the level for the competitiveness. And talking about people with disabilities, that's basically saying just people who think differently. Because there are some who are able to see video games and they can dominate in them.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Yeah.
they aren't able to meet that pre-qualifier, then I'm sorry, guess what? I probably can't either.
Yeah. It was
Get
an
good.
interesting
I
topic
guess
for sure.
it always comes back
So,
to like the moral debate, right? You're at Walmart and there's so many people that need help, right? Like they need the up close parking. They need the actual help because of physical issues or mental issues. And then you see the lady pull up and she doesn't want to walk through the store, so the doctor gave her a tag and she rides the cart around the store. Like, yeah, this is America. She has the right to do that, but morally, that's not right.
Mhm.
She's taking advantage of the system. So,
mhm.
no matter if you try to make an easy mode, then people are just going to go, well, I'll just play easy mode because I'll dominate. I'll win everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're the same way as parents, Peach and I. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when our son, he's like, "Oh, I can't get past this shrine on Zelda," or "I can't get past a certain level in Mario Party," or I can never win this mini game in Mario Party." We tell him practice it. Practice it.
Practice
I'm
makes
not going to do
permanent.
it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, practice makes permanent is like our household motto. Is the more you do something, the more it becomes a fixture in your life. So I feel like you're right, Ethan. I feel like people really do need to have that mentality if they don't have like those physical or mental limitations behind them.
That's
Like,
kind
don't take the easy way out.
that's kind of the one reason why I don't play League of Legends, because a lot of pro and seriously ranked players will go back, make new accounts just to win against people who are less experienced than them, because they'll get put into matches with them. And the same thing
Well, then
happens
they have a
in
very,
And that's just a low sense of self-esteem.
Mhm,
yeah, I was going
mhm.
to say, they have a very low, I don't know, view of the world. They're nihilistic.
They're narcissists. Yeah.
Small dick energy.
That's what it is.
Tiny penis.
So what's the opposite of brick?
Needle? Needle dick? Hey, I saw an opportunity, I took it. I knew what I was saying when I knew I was going for when I
So
said
I can
needle.
say I got that brick dick and Alan got that needle dick.
No. Really?
No.
I'm playing master mode.
Well,
What are you
and we
talking
can
about?
even we've seen a bit of example of this with the Queen's Gambit.
Mhm.
When Homegirl first goes to sign up for the chess, she knows she's good, but they say, "Oh, you're a girl. Sorry, sucks to suck. You can't play."
And
she's
you've
like,
never
"No."
even, you don't have like a
Mhm.
ranking.
Mhm.
And she's like, "No, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna beat your top person." And she works her way up. She puts in that effort. She puts in her dedication. And
I
so
really
I
love
think
the
with the
Queen's Gambit. I really
with
loved it.
the
Sorry.
I know, but
yes,
she had that tight vag energy. You know what I mean? No, that one doesn't work well.
No, it doesn't
I'm
work.
sorry, what?
not
Oh,
so
do
much.
you mean her pussy game was strong? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know if you say you got big dick
Mm.
energy for guys, isn't a tight pussy energy good for girls?
Big tit energy. Come on. Not everything is about our vagina. Spoken like a true man.
I'm trying to be inclusive.
I appreciate the effort.
But with competitive esports, they have to meet a requirement. I don't think developers who are running those brackets should lower the standards. Because if you want to say you're the best, well, then you have to play like you're the best.
Well, at this point, like
Exactly.
right now during esports, it's not individuals going up against other individuals anymore. It's teams. You see like these big teams coming together, being sponsored by a specific corporation or a multitude of companies, and they'll go out and, you know, try to dominate in the one game that they're good at. And they'll live in houses and they'll practice all fucking day playing video games. Like it's no longer one person. It's dedicated teams of people.
If you don't go outside and enjoy a little bit of outside time, something's wrong with you.
I mean, hell, at least take your console out there and play.
Right?
Right.
Like just take it outside.
Get yourself a projector and go outside with your friends.
So the other day, speaking on that, the other day I had all the cables and everything in my cart so that we can go over to Peaches, hook up his projector to the N64 and stream whatever we're playing.
I'm down for it. Let's do it.
Oh my god, I would
Also-
so be down for that.
Also, JW says, whether you like it or not, it's ultimately a dog-eat-dog world. When there is big money and sponsorship involved, developers don't have a lot of room for maneuverability, whether they like it or not. And I agree. Like,
True that. Yeah.
when it comes to games that are meant to be competitive play, you know, Halo, Fortnite, League of Legends, shoot, the one that's on Battle, the fuck, I already forgot the name. Not Outlast. Overwatch.
But,
Like,
I mean-
those games are made to be competitive, and you want to hone
Any way
your
you
skill
look
to
at
make
it-
better. Go ahead.
Yeah, any way you look at it, you're not going to be dogging the NFL and saying that they need to put an easy mode in. You're not going to tell the NBA they got to put an easy mode in because it has to be more accessible. Like, we don't treat other sports like that. And if we're going to treat esports as an actual like profession in sports, then we got to put it to the same standards.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
Yeah.
point. I can agree with
They
that.
have different branches with different skill levels. Esports can have that as well, but keep the professional with the professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Like,
that make sense?
That's what I'm about.
that makes sense. Like, if developers, if game development companies want to include an easy mode like they did for Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity, Fallen Order, Halo campaign, and any other game I can think of that they've released in the past 30 years, by all means, you should include it for those who want to experience the story more than having to strategize on the story. Like, by all means,
It's my favorite part of the
include it.
game.
The story
It's
or
funny.
the strategizing.
No, the strategy.
I feel like the
Me too,
people
me
who are
too.
making this a big deal are the same people that made them change the description of legendary mode in Halo because it said attempting this is suicide. So it offended and triggered people, so they had to change that.
What did they change it to?
I like, oh, this is a very extremely difficult level or whatever.
I remember when
PC
it said it's
bullshit they put in.
suicide. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
If I have to sit there and do the little Charlie and Spyro 100 freaking times, it's gonna take me 100 freaking times.
I think this is also coming from a generation that didn't have to do the water temple Ocarina of Time
Mhm.
without a game guide.
And it shows.
What?
So I remember
I'm sorry,
my last
Keelan.
playthrough. I went for a 100% playthrough of Ocarina of Time, and I did the water temple in probably like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, or whatever.
Nice.
Keelan's been on for like 15 years.
You know what? That's what we're doing.
And on
just
that
for
note,
more-
That's what we're doing for New Year's. We're all gonna come over. We're all gonna watch Keelan play Ocarina of Time without a guidebook.
Dude,
I
I'm
was gonna say-
down.
we actually did what, like 2 years ago? I ended up playing Ocarina of Time while everybody else was ringing in the new year.
And
I
we're gonna
remember that.
stream it.
different time.
Yeah, no. So we have multiple player guides. It's really just her sitting down and doing it at this point.
Yeah.
And as soon as she does, she gets to play Majora's Mask, which she's never played before.
Yay.
Yay.
So I guess I'll have
Majora's
to
Mask
stream
is so awesome.
the ending. Maybe I should start the game over and just start streaming that.
You should. You
Mhm.
absolutely should. I will watch the hell out of that. Yes.
I know the first part really well.
You're gonna look like a pro.
I know the whole game really well.
Very
We got this.
nice. Very good.
So I have
So you can get the first 3 stones, but none of the coins.
Yeah, the
Medallions?
stones. Yeah,
Yeah.
the stones I'm really, really good at. The medallions, I'm decently good at the forest and fire, but I've only ever gotten the water temple once, and that's where I'm at now. I just
If it's-
finished it.
if it's
Oh
been
my
a hot minute
god.
since oh well, you just finished it. I was like, if it's been a hot minute since you've played and you're in the middle of the temple, like I can never pause or like shut down the game in the middle of a temple. There's no fucking way because I'm gonna have to go back to the start and like retrace my steps.
That's why I had to restart last time, was because I finally got to Shadow Link, and he ended up killing me, ended up dying, and I could not find his room again,
Oof.
even with the guidebook.
Gorgon sword. Every time.
hmm So you're
He's
telling me
nothing.
that you've never been to the Spirit Temple?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Not
still
so
have yet
she
to go to
didn't
the
get the
Spirit Temple.
So everybody knows you're supposed to get the Gorgon sword and the hook shot or the long shot before you go to the water temple. Come on.
Yeah. You need those for the Water Temple. And then,
Or
the
you
Gorons,
can play
the
it
big
on
Goron
hard
sword.
mode and just do it with your sword and your regular hook shot.
Oh,
I can
so
swing my
Just kidding.
diamond sword.
so master mode of Ocarina of Time, the map is flipped. Everything else is flipped.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it's
will
really
not be playing
cool.
Master Mode.
I loved playing it on the N64. Anyway, sorry, the N64, the GameCube. They didn't release it for the N64.
I have a raid suggestion, by the way.
Ooh, you have a raid
Oh yeah, who's your raid
suggestion.
suggestion?
Her name is C2.
Oh, I'm
She
with them.
is she's like a Danger Drums mod, and she's great and really friendly.
I like her.
Yeah, so he said on his other stream why he wouldn't be on Circle of Jerks anytime soon. He's trying to stay lowest profile as possible for as long as he can.
Oh.
Aw, that's sweet.
Well, like, huh?
So that's kind of sweet. I'm just a regular guy.
So we ready for this raid? Choo choo, everyone on the raid train.
Let's
Trying
do it.
to.
Get your emotes ready.
All right, so we have a new emote, guys. It is gang gang.
Gang gang.
Gang gang. Extreme knows this emote very well.
Yeah, that's for only extreme. Only extreme can use that emote. Anybody else, you'll get shamed.
Oh, do we want to
Very
plug
nice.
in what we're doing this week?
I would say it's a great time to do it if we're going to.
I say we should start with the ladies.
Friday is ya heard. I'm super
Yay.
stoked. Still need to watch
Just so you know,
the-
Friday's ladies' night, and they're
Oh.
reading. Yeah,
Yeah, it's ladies'
all I got.
night on Official Millennials.
We are reading A Simple Favor by Darcy Bell. If you are not a reader, there's also the movie on Hulu, so you can join in the conversation because we will also be doing a movie to book comparison. So catch us here on the Official Millennials channel at 7:30.
Whoop whoop.
Woo-hoo.
Who are we having this week on for Circle of Jerks, Ethan?
I want to say Ash Sweet, right?
Mhm.
Did I say it right?
Ash Sweetie.
Ash Sweetie. I got it 90% correct, like everything else in my life. So we'll be streaming Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time with Ash Sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to talk to her and get to know her a little bit. She is a regular streamer.
Plays Minecraft on a Nintendo Switch.
which Alan's very excited about. He has somebody to talk Minecraft with. Hey, Chip's in the house.
What's up,
Chip.
Chip?
Chip.
Hey. Are you guys streaming this week? Puzzled. NJ, are you guys streaming this week?
Yep, you can catch me on Thursday from 4 to 7. I
Mhm.
might play longer so that I can raid Miss NJ.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm
Chip, we do
playing
our
some-
book clubs once a month on Friday. It's called the You Heard.
Sorry, Chip's catching up.
Sorry.
What are you streaming this week, NJ?
I'm thinking Luigi's Mansion. I'm gonna try to finish that up. I do need to work on my Reptar piece, so I'm kind of debating between doing my Reptar piece or doing Luigi's Mansion. So we'll see.
I was going to say, when's the Christmas reef?
Oh, fuck. Next week. It's gonna be 1 week up on my door, but
It'll be there through
For those that
January
don't know.
6th.
I make reefs, and it's a lot of fun. I really love it.
What about a New Year's reef? How about instead of a Christmas, we do a New Year's one this year? What do you think?
The color scheme for New Year's, black and gold.
I don't know. Champagne?
We should make its first colors black and silver.
No, they changed. They went back.
They
You
went
haven't
back.
seen the
Like
New
the old
jerseys?
colors.
Yeah, they changed the arena is now back to the Fiesta colors.
Yeah.
And on their new jerseys, they're black, and then down the side they're the pink and blue stripes. So they're going back to the old school colors.
That's fucking awesome. I love their old school
Bless you,
colors.
NJ.
Bless you, NJ.
I only know that because my friend Moses
Thank
got
you.
the new jersey. He was very excited. We all had to see.
NJ looked like she was jamming out. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and get ready for this raid, guys. Thank you guys for
Do
swinging
it.
by. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel and check out our Discord if you want to be kept up to date with the most current news for Fisher Millennials. You have a great
And
evening.
don't forget, Chip Hound will be our featured gamer until Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So check her out. Show some love.
Yeah, sure.
She does art commissions. Don't forget.
Best emotes, y'all.
In case you haven't already done it, I'll do a shout out for Chip. And thank you guys for swinging by for this episode of the Naked Podcast. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for being here tonight, guys. We can't.
I'm sorry. You didn't say anything, so I thought, okay, I guess that's it.
Sweet. Now we can talk bad about everyone.
This is an official Millennials production.